welcome back now to the second place of the Hong Kong Hackathon winners. The name of the project is Blockflare. The team leader is Kenta Iwasaki, and they are from Singapore and Hong Kong. I'm pretty sure that's a Japanese name, but maybe it's a Singaporeese name. Yeah, so their project is Blockflare, a decentralized anti-DDoS protection. This is one of the projects I think is very interesting. That I don't fully understand, but I think it makes a lot of sense. Maybe you understand what it means when you watch the pitch video. So let's go do that. Close that out.
Blockflare, you guys are going to go ahead and come on up. Judges, give me a nod if you're...
And this guy's presentation is great. I think it's fantastic. He's relaxed the whole time, even though he has a big clock running behind him. It's 3 minutes. So yeah, great smile. Very charismatic guy.
Ready. 3 minutes back on the clock. Go!
All right, so you're an internet business owner, and the one thing that you would obviously hate is people DDoSing your website. What I mean by that is hackers consistently attacking your website, trying to deny your service, so now people cannot go on and enjoy their favorite content media that you provide. Now, hackers do this by going on, taking and infecting hundreds of millions of personal devices and laptops, and use their aggregated network power together to go on and do their best to shut down your websites. Now, that sounds all really bad, but there's a good side to this. There are a bunch of centralized solutions out there, such as Cloudflare, such as Akamai Networks. And what they do is they do their best to mitigate DDoS attacks for your sake, for your business. But there's a little catch here. The opportunity cost, or exactly how much dollars in damage these sort of DDoS attacks actually provide, easily goes up to billions of dollars. AKA, the moment your online business gets hit by a DDoS attack, you're potentially losing millions to billions of dollars. And these guys, Cloudflare and Akamai Networks, in return to mitigate your DDoS attack, they also got to spend millions of dollars on their own servers. So what we want to do is find a little happy medium to that. And what we decided to do was make a decentralized, anti-DDoS, economically incentivized platform that's built on EOS. So how exactly does it work? Well, what we do, in comparison to Cloudflare, is we crowdsource together all the sort of commodity devices that all you guys have, and we'll pay you for your bandwidth for the sake of being able to mitigate all of these DDoS attacks. So simply, you register as a relayer over on EOS, and the very moment that happens, the typical DDoS attack happens by directly attacking a central server. So people don't typically are not going to be routing to a central server anymore. But with Blockflare, our platform, you're going to be routing all of your API requests, any kind of sort of website servers that you have, all through EOS through a single smart contract. So let's go on and show a little demo. So this is a little sample login, and you can see you've got a username, you got a password. We'll go on and enter it, and you know, in a typical sort of login page, whenever you press that login button, it's going to be sending a request to a login credential server to verify that, all right, your username and password is correct, right? But the thing is, because you know that route, the hackers or potentially malicious people can use that, take advantage of that, and spam your centralized server of hundreds of millions of different nodes. What we do instead is we use EOS, the fact that they have a large amount of internet bandwidth, the fact that the super nodes in EOS collaborate with one another to perform consensus mechanisms, we'll take advantage of it as a DDoS firewall. And with that, we're not going to be routing any of your API requests, any of your account registrations, any important information through your centralized server anymore, but instead through EOS.
And time. Give it up.
So that was a lot of very, very technical information, and I think that might have been one of their downfalls. I think the beginning was great. They have stated very clearly what they were trying to do, and they kind of restated the challenge. Like, DDoS protection service is a centralized service, centralized business. We want to build a decentralized model of it. That was a great start. Once it get more technical, and I love the image he gave as you're internet business owner, just try and run your shop, and then you would hate it if you have people coming in DDoSing your website. So it gives a very concrete example, very concrete image people could hold in their mind. Where it gets a little bit weird is where I get a little bit drift off is when you start going to technical details. I am I'm decently familiar with web technologies, but still have trouble wrapping my head around what he was trying to say. But that's besides the point. The judge is gonna ask questions that help clarify those things, and we're gonna go into the judge's questions. But right off the bat, great presentation. Didn't finish as strong as I hoped he would have, but definitely great start. So I just want to kind of go back to the start again because I think it was a great way to start your presentation. So
Go!
All right, so you're an internet business owner, and the one thing that you would obviously hate is people DDoSing your website. What I mean by that is hackers consistently attacking your website, trying to deny your service, so now people cannot go on and enjoy their favorite content media that you provide. Now, hackers do this by going on.
So very relatable. We all experience website breaking down due to DDoS attack before, and then now he's stating the problem and his solution to it.
Taking and infecting hundreds of millions of personal devices and laptops and use their aggregated network power together to go on and do their best to shut down your websites. Now, that sounds all really bad, but there's a good side to this. There are a bunch of centralized solutions out there, such as Cloudflare, such as Akamai Networks.
So centralized services and then we offer decentralized alternative. Fits the challenge perfectly.
And what they do is they do their best to mitigate DDoS attacks for your sake, for your business. But there's a little catch here. The opportunity cost, or exactly how much dollars in damage these.
Okay, so I'm just gonna gloss over this a little bit because now it's going into the logical stuff. The opportunity cost, business cost, which is still interesting, but we already heard that before, and I don't want to replay it again. So we're going to go into the judges' questions.
Two minutes on the clock for you for any questions that you've got.
Yeah, so is it the block producers that are doing the routing or the individual devices that sign up on the EOS smart contract?
Right, it's going to be the individual devices alongside the block producers actually, because it's a two-way defense. First is actually getting through the EOS firewall, I would say, and the second step is actually getting through the crowdsourced internet bandwidth.
Okay, so the crowdsourced internet bandwidth where people sign up their devices, that can in theory be done on a centralized website though. People can just sign up their IP addresses and other things, right?
Right. So what we actually do is we follow a good example of Tor, and what we do is we intentionally obfuscate the path that's taken between all of the sort of relayers, the ones contributing to bandwidth, so that you won't really actually know what sort of API server you hit to provide a response.
Awesome.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about the proof of work function?
Right, so upon every single request, every single route that's gone through EOS to mitigate DDoS attacks, before you can even make that request, you must complete a proof of work. Now think of it like this. If you got millions of network requests going through, obviously your server is going to be crashing. But if you have to generate a proof of work, which takes some amount of time, 100 milliseconds, you're going to be going from 1 billion network requests being spammed to your servers per second by malicious attackers, all the way forcibly down to 1,000, because proof of work, as we can see from Bitcoin and Ethereum, intentionally lets us bind the concept or notion or the physics of time into software.
So hackers can be extremely creative, as you know, and how would you try to hack the system that you've described?
10-second warning.
The way I would try to hack the system is try to take over the entire EOS network. Not my intention.
And on that note, time. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations.
Okay, so I'm not gonna play the rest of the video, just accepting the award. So just a few things that I want to point out. Your presentation, your pitch does not have to be very technical. As you could tell, the judges will ask you questions at the end, and you could take advantage of that time to go into more specific detail. Doesn't mean like you shouldn't give a overview of what your solution is, but definitely don't try to go through everything in your pitch. You only have 3 minutes to to tell them to kind of frame the challenge, how you see it, state the problem, state your solution, and then try to convince them that your solution is better than the existing one, or it's a brand new solution. So how I would score, and I think I should have give the score for the last one as well. How I would score is utilization. I would give it 5. That would be perfect. Creativity, I think, is creative in a very highly technical sense. It's a very technical solution, creative technical solution. I'm not gonna give it a full 5, but I will give it 4. And an impact, he did say it's gonna save, millions or billions of dollars, just because, if this service works as they say it will, it would save a lot of money. So the impact is quite big. So I give that a 5 as well. And scalability is the only thing that I think is probably a little bit lacking, because not all of us own web servers. Some of us might own websites, but it's hosted in servers by centralized people, centralized entities. So we're not too worried about facing DDoS attack, and we could always employ, like he said, these centralized anti-DDoS services. So I give that a 3. So 5 for utilization, 4 for creativity, that's 9, 5 for impact, that is 14, and 3 for scalability, that is 17. That's just my personal scoring. I don't know what the score of the judges are, but yeah. So we're gonna have one more. I'm not gonna go with specialty prizes, best UI, etc., because I haven't seen. I'll try to see if I dig up those projects, actually, see if they are on GitHub, and I'll include the links to them in the description. But I haven't used them myself, so I can't say how the user experience is. But yeah, I'll catch you in the next video when we look at the third place winner.